What does a Tyrannosaurus Rex look like? That image used to be slow and stupid, with T-Rex bolt upright, tail dragging on the ground, the lone predator lumbering through the jungle. Now that image is fast and feathery, T-Rex low to the ground, a pack hunter, and yes, covered with feathers. That image will change in the future as more discoveries occur. Isn't that wonderful? Here's another question for you. How many genders are there? Guess what? We don't know. New genders emerge often now. Isn't that wonderful? Wait, what? More than 2 genders? Yes, for most of my life, I thought only male and female genders existed too. Gender is somewhat cultural. In Samoa, they have male, female, and fa-fa-fine. In Native American cultures, they have male, female, and two-spirit. Gender has nothing to do with your genitals, hormones, or chromosomes. Gender is how you feel inside, determined by your mind and your heart. Have you heard of the gender spectrum? That's a simplified way of looking at gender, with male on one side, female on the other, and all these other genders somewhere along the spectrum. Someone who's genderqueer might be in the middle. Someone who's gender fluid might be anywhere on the spectrum, depending on the day. Someone who's agender might not be on the spectrum at all. This is very simplistic, but it helps us break away from that binary way of thinking about gender. It's enough to understand that gender is a social construct, and plenty of lovely humans don't fit our classic male-female gender binary. These other genders can collectively be called non-binary. Okay, great. We've got all these other non-binary genders out there. Who cares? I care. Because I'm non-binary, genderqueer to be exact. I'm 32 years old, and I've always been genderqueer. But I didn't learn that term until I was 28. Who learns their gender at 28? When I was a little kid, I played with G.I. Joes, Legos, Ninja Turtles. I hated pink. I hated dolls. I changed my name to that of my favorite dinosaur. I didn't feel like a girl, but I also didn't feel like a boy. Because I only thought male and female genders existed, I didn't understand where I fit in this world, and I mostly felt awkward, misunderstood, and very lonely. Now I identify as genderqueer. Now I understand why I don't fit in this binary world. Now I have a term that helps me connect with others who feel the same way about gender. I felt free. Haha, yes, this all makes sense now. By identifying outside of the binary, I stopped worrying about gender stereotypes and focused on how I felt most comfortable. My clothes, my hairstyle, my career. This is just me. I'm just a human. Here's the thing. Our society is extremely binary. Binaries divide us. We have rich and poor, left and right-wing political parties, male and female. Rejecting the gender binary offers the potential to bring us together under our common humanity. It offers a kind of freedom. As freeing as it is, being non-binary is very hard. The big obstacle? Most people don't know that genders besides male and female exist. When I tell someone that I'm genderqueer or non-binary, the most common response is, "What's that?" How do we break free of gender stereotypes if we're stuck in this binary way of thinking? Oops. Awareness is the first step on the road to change. In 2015, the editor of Options magazine asked if I would draw a comic. Options magazine is Rhode Island's LGBTQ monthly publication. I thought, great, here's my chance to have a comic about a non-binary character trying to navigate the binary world. I could exemplify issues and solutions that come up for that character, plus that readership already understands societal discrimination. I said yes. Now, what should this non-binary character look like? If I drew a human, the reader might be tempted to assign a gender based on the kind of body I draw. Let's remove human gender and make the character a different species. Something cute but strong, something with built-in androgyny, something very lovable. Remember when I said we don't know what a Tyrannosaurus Rex looks like? We can't tell the difference between male and female Tyrannosaurus Rex fossils. Looking at living relatives of T-Rex, birds, we would have a really hard time distinguishing male and female without the help of external feathers and color patterns. We don't know Tyrannosaurus Rex's feathers and color patterns yet. Birds have internal genitalia, and it's very likely Tyrannosaurus Rex did too. Great, we're free from human and mammal gender binary preconceived notions. Let's make this non-binary character a Tyrannosaurus Rex, feathers and all. Would you like to see some comics? The main character is a Tyrannosaurus Rex named T-Rex. They live in Newport with their best friend Eric, a transgender man. They have a girlfriend named Mai Long, and they mentor a trans boy named Sam. In this first comic printed in Options magazine, T-Rex and Eric are sitting in King Park when a random jogger comes up and says, "Yo, T-Rex, are you a boy or a girl?" "Can I eat him, Eric?" Just answer the question nicely. "Neither. I'm genderqueer, and I prefer they, them, and their pronouns." "Hey, that's cool. Catch you around." "Good job. He still looks tasty." I get that question all the time, usually from children, because kids are still trying to figure out the world and adults feel empowered to make assumptions about gender. T-Rex's answer breaks the binary right away. They are neither male nor female. The jogger's response validates T-Rex's identity and shows respect without any awkwardness or shock. What if all gender identities were as normal and inconsequential as our eye color? "Oh, you have brown eyes? Hey, that's cool." Uh-oh. No gender binary. What do we do about pronouns? Well, the easy answer is to just use the person's name over and over again, but let's face it, we're lazy humans and pronouns make it so much easier to talk about someone else behind their back. They, them, and Z here are popular gender-neutral choices of pronouns for non-binary people, but there's no limit. You can make up any word you want. We all have the power to choose our own pronouns. Before we talk about more non-binary things, just want to say a quick word about T-Rex's arms. Here's T-Rex and Eric in Ballard Park. Did you call that girl Mai Long yet? No. Why not? I have little arms. That never stopped you before. Why would she want to date a genderqueer, feathery dinosaur with huge teeth and claws? She might not want to date you, but she might want to be your friend, and that's worth finding out. Okay, I'll call her. I have a problem with all those little arm jokes about T-Rex. We humans with our amazing ape arms see T-Rex's little arms and see a humorous limitation. "Huh, look at the dumb dinosaur who can't do anything. Their arms are so small." Like T-Rex needed its arms when it had an enormous head full of teeth, keeping our squeaky ancestors in their place until 65 million years ago. Tyrannosaurus Rex's arms did not limit them in real life, and they don't in the comic. How often do we see gender as a limitation? This tiny arm excuse is meant to challenge our stereotypes about Tyrannosaurus Rex as a metaphor for challenging our gender stereotypes. This comic could very easily read, "Why didn't you sign up for ballet class? I'm a boy. That never stopped you before." Oh, who's this My Long, huh? Sounds like T-Rex has a crush. What happens when a non-binary person falls in love? Are they gay or straight? Here's T-Rex and My Long on the cliff walk. "I like you. I like you too. Would you like to go out with me?" "Of course." "Since I'm genderqueer, does this mean you are scoliosexual?" "Sounds like a disease. I'll go with Rexosexual lesbian." Sounds lovely. We have as many terms to describe sexual orientation as gender. Scoliosexual is just a word that means someone who's attracted to non-binary people. That label is only effective if someone chooses it for themselves. It is not okay to label someone else. My Long chooses labels that feel right to her, but she doesn't have to choose any at all. All that matters is that she loves T-Rex and T-Rex loves her. Loves them. So here is another comic. See if you can spot the non-binary thing in this comic, and this comic deals with labels. "Welcome to the Queer Kids Center, Mixer T-Rex." "Thanks, you can call me T-Rex." "No problem, I'm Jazz, the mentor coordinator. I see you would like to be matched with an energetic child." "Eek! Die, redcoats, go back to England." "Make him stop." "Sam, why don't you play Revolutionary War outside?" "Burn the Gatsby." We have just the one. How often on forms, petitions, documents are we asked to provide a title like Mr. or Ms.? Somehow our culture got it into its head that titles show respect. And maybe they do, if you earn it, like doctor or reverend. Our most common titles assume something about our gender and even our marital status. How is that respectful? Did you find the non-binary thing? MX, pronounced mix or mixter, is a gender-neutral option for a title. T-Rex isn't interested in titles and asks to be called by their name. Calling someone what they want to be called truly shows respect. Here's another example of that with Eric. "It's been 2 years since transitioning, and I still hate clothes shopping. And this is why. Can I help you find anything, ma'am?" "He and I are fine, thanks." "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Call if you need anything." "This is why I don't wear clothes." "Let's go to the thrift store." "Ma'am? Sir?" Again, how is it respectful to assume a stranger's gender? I don't have an easy answer for this one because we don't have a good gender-neutral substitute. Friend or comrade might work in some circles. I know of some sci-fi TV shows that call everyone sir regardless of their gender. Maybe our culture will reach a similar solution. And why? Why do we segregate clothing? "Oh, well, men's and women's bodies are different." Okay, I agree. I know tall women and short women and women who like plaid. I know plump men and thin men and men who like glitter. I know people of all shapes and sizes who are not men or women. Most people can find clothing that fits them regardless of the section. So why separate the two? If I want to buy some earth tone pants with big pockets, why make me go to the men's section? Why presume something about my gender that's false? I'm not a man. Why not just have a section with earth tone pants with big pockets? 'Cause that's the only section that matters if that's what I want to buy. Here's another example of segregation with Sam and T-Rex playing board games. Are you a trans man like me? No, I'm genderqueer. What does that mean? It means different things to different people. For me, it means I'm not a boy or a girl. I'm in the middle of the gender spectrum. Oh. Does that mean you couldn't be in Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts when you were a kid? Pretty much. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, men's and women's athletics, we segregate along binary gender lines all the time. We do this without thinking that some people are non-binary. Sure, the genders of male and female are totally valid, but what about people in the middle of the gender spectrum, or those who have no gender? Can someone who's genderqueer attend a women's college? Play on a men's football team? We need to think long and hard about that before we create a gender-segregated space. Because we don't want gender holding us back. Here's Sam and T-Rex in front of the Queer Kids Center. Hey Sam, come play basketball. T-Rex's arms are too small, so they can keep score. Who needs arms to play basketball? Thump, bip, 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 whap, bam, swish. You're on my team. A Tyrannosaurus Rex playing basketball looks a lot different from a human playing basketball, but the end result is the same. Have fun playing the game. We have one life and one game to play. Why let gender influence that at all? And if it shouldn't limit us, why do we keep asking for that information? Think of all the places you see gender segregation. Think of the binary language you use. Is it serving a purpose, or does it exclude those who don't fit our classic male, female, gender binary boxes? The gender binary allows us to commit gender segregation. It ignores the interests and desires of the individual. It is very, very unequal because with two choices, one must be better. Which gender has more privilege and power over the others? Separate but equal doesn't work. Segregation doesn't work. We've already learned this in our history. We are all human beings who deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. In the future, this conversation about gender will be completely different, like our old version of Tyrannosaurus Rex versus our new version. There's so much we don't know. Our knowledge and understanding of the world keeps growing and changing, and that's part of what makes this world so interesting and beautiful. Isn't that wonderful?